Varmt välkomna. A warm welcome to the Royal Stockholm Swedish Academy of Music, where Birgit Nilsson was a valued member, and to this press conference announcing the 2025 Birgit Nilsson Prize, which we opened, of course, with music. Thank you to Carolina Bengtsson, this year's stipendium recipient, the Birgit Nilsson Stipendium, for your beautiful performance of Richard Strauss' Morgen, and to Magnus Svensson at the piano. Since the birth of opera, the art form has filled humanity with extraordinary musical experiences, strong emotions and content reflecting both reality as well as fiction, challenging both mind and society. The Birgit Nilsson Stiftelsen is convinced that classical music and opera has an important role to play in our time, adding new perspectives and inviting mankind to both personal and collective experiences. Birgit Nilsson herself was indeed an important part of the 20th century opera movement through her dedication to music and unforgettable portrayals in the opera literature. She continues to contribute and inspire classical music and opera scene today, where her legacy is manifested through the annual stipendium to a young, talented Swedish singer, as well as the international prize, through which tribute is paid to active artists or institutions who have made a major contribution to the perpetuation of their art form. At this point, I would like to extend my thanks to the 2025 advisory panel. Manuel Bruck in Germany, John Allison from the United Kingdom, George Loomis from the United States, and Finnish Lili-Katriina Paasikivi for their invaluable knowledge and the dedication throughout the whole process. With the Birgit Nilsson Prize 2025, the Foundation would like to pay recognition to the clear vision and the never-ending focus on musical quality and highest possible artistic achievements and standards in performances, ranging from Baroque to contemporary repertoire, deeply rooted within this recipient. As president of the Birgit Nilsson Stiftelsen, I'm very pleased to announce that the Birgit Nilsson Prize 2025 will be awarded the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence with Thank you. And I'd like to read the following motivation. With its forward-looking and multifaceted programming, the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence has long been recognized for its outstanding artistic achievements and commitment to developing and commissioning new opera productions. The commitment has produced key milestones in contemporary masterpieces which have perpetuated the art form and added an important chapter to musical history. The board is delighted to present the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence with the 2025 Birgit Nilsson Prize, giving special recognition for the world premiere production of Kaija Saariaho's opera Innocence. In addition, then, to a strong commitment to contemporary music, the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence has a distinguished history of presenting repertoire across the centuries, from Monteverdi and Mozart to the dramatic operas of the 19th and 20th century. Patrice Chéreau's 2013 staging of Richard Strauss' Elektra, that is another example of a production nurtured and premiered in Aix, which continues to be celebrated and staged around the world, including the New York Metropolitan Opera House, a house clearly closely connected to Birgit Nilsson and her repertoire. However, today is a moment of wonderful celebration, but also of sadness, as we mourn, the world mourns the loss of Pierre Audi, who died suddenly earlier this month. And as director of the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence since 2019, Pierre's artistic passion and dedication was truly inspirational. And he was looking forward so much to celebrating this special honor, of which he was so proud of to acknowledge on behalf of all those he worked with in the festival. At this point, we'd like to share a greeting from Pierre himself, which he prepared prior to his sudden parting.
The Festival d'Aix-en-Provence is immensely grateful and humbled to have been chosen as the 2025 recipient of the prestigious Birgit Nilsson Prize. No words are warm enough to express our deepest thanks at receiving this wonderful honor. This groundbreaking decision will mark a momentous turning point in our 77-year history. The Birgit Nilsson Prize will help the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence across challenging times which have recently threatened its artistic course. The prize will enable the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence to continue its determined policy to create new works and stay an inspiring birthplace for new operas, as well as nurture the special synergy between innovation and quality, which has been its trademark for many years. The opera Innocence by the great Finnish composer Kaija Saariaho is a prime example of a work that has taken the world by storm. Nurtured and produced by the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence, this important work will have been seen across 15 stages around the world in the space of a few years. This project stands as a living example of the contribution the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence has been able to make to the course of opera as a living art form we firmly believe is there to stay and evolve with our times.
Thank you. Please let me now introduce to you the chairman of the board of the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence, Monsieur Paul Armelin, and the artistic advisor, Monsieur Timothée Picard. Please join me here on stage.
A few words first. It's so frustrating to be here and to think of Pierre. I learned on a Saturday morning that he was found dead in his hotel room in Beijing, where he had gone to prepare a special direction for Wagner tetralogy. So he had flown to Beijing for 3 days and might have been a little too much for his body. So I want to thank first the board of the foundation for the Birgit Nilsson Prize. It's an immense honor. I will not repeat what Pierre said, but we are very conscious. And it's so more important because it comes at a moment of a troubled time for the festival. I want to thank all the people without whom the festival would not exist. First, the team. It's a sizable team because we produce our own staging material in Aix-en-Provence. There are several employees, about 70, plus all the people, several hundred of people that participate to the festival. I want to thank the people that contribute. Without them, we could not exist. First, the French state with significant subsidies, the city of Aix-en-Provence, the metropolitan area, the Bouches-du-Rhône département, and the region. And we have a lot of sponsors, private and company, and they are incredibly important, and all the more since the public funds are getting a little difficult and scarce, so we need this contribution. But I come from a company that, by the way, operates in Sweden. First are what I would call the customers and the public, and we have a very faithful public. I went to Aix-en-Provence. I'm from Avignon, which is not far from Aix-en-Provence. I first came when I was 17 years old, and so it will be my 58th participation to the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence this year. The festival is 77 years old. I'm only 73, so I'm a little younger than the festival, just a little bit. But I've been there for a long time, and I have a lot of memories there. I mentioned to Timothée that I was struck by so many things, and I remember there are big voices. I remember the Ariadne of Naxos with Jesse Norman, and that was a physical impression, Jesse Norman. I heard that now Birgit Nilsson showed up in a side concert in Aix-en-Provence, organized by the festival in 1974. I was not there. So I was focused on opera themselves. But the festival in Aix-en-Provence has some tradition, and we focus on excellence. We have some open air, and then the local authorities all together built a new theatre for us, the Grand Théâtre de Provence. And so we have multiple stages now. And I would say tradition is for excellence, the key masterpiece of that opera art, but then innovation. And notably with Pierre, we enter new territories. The focus on new creation and asking composers to write new pieces started in '98. It was accelerated by the predecessor of Pierre, Bernard Faucroul, whom I've asked to come and help me to support me for this edition. So he has a special mandate for a few weeks to help me and support the team to secure the current edition of the festival. But Pierre brought it to a higher level. Just we speak of Innocence, the Pascal du Sapin, Viaggio del Dante was another masterpiece. So a tradition of excellence, tradition, and very contemporary creation. Plus, Pierre brought something unusual. He thought the French people were not proud of French opera. So he tried to revive the tradition, and we heard The Prophet from Meyerbeer 2 years ago. And this year we will hear Louise from Charpentier, created in 1900, because he thought we were not pushing enough some French masterpieces. So we owe a lot to Pierre, and I would just say this prize will just give us an additional responsibility of doing possibly better. Unfortunately, we will launch the quest for a successor to Pierre. I think in a very couple of days I was submitted the form to launch the quest for a succession, but this edition will be dedicated to Pierre. We'll have a special tribute to Pierre on the Sunday, July 7th. 6th. All the edition will pay a tribute to Pierre Audi, and we will certainly celebrate this prize because he, as I repeat, in a troubled period where he had to redefine the festival with but most probably more prudent financial projection, but we focused on maintaining the quality and the excellence, but that came as a ray of light in a difficult period, and he was very proud, and he would have been so happy to be here with you today, and I hardly replace him. Thank you. Timothée.
As the President Paul Hermelin said, the festival is extremely honored and proud to receive this award, the most prestigious in the world of classical music. It recognizes artistic excellence and, more broadly, a global vision which the festival, since its inception in 1948, has sought to maintain in every aspect with ambition and innovation, repertoire, creation, and discovery of artists for the opera of tomorrow, and all this in respect of the values essential for artistic creation in today's world. Of course, at this very moment, I'm thinking of Pierre Audi. We, at the festival, are deeply saddened by the loss of Pierre. Pierre Audi was a tireless champion of the festival and a great visionary to whom we owe some particularly outstanding productions. He was a unique and engaging man who will be sorely missed. When Pierre learned of this honor, he was both proud and moved. He was looking forward to celebrating this prestigious distinction and sharing it with all our teams and partners. We are doing everything in our power to ensure that this edition will be all that he dreamt of. There is no better way to pay tribute to him. The artistic teams are already arriving in Aix as we speak, and rehearsals have begun. Of course, this year's festival will feature several specific tributes, as Paul said, and will be dedicated to him in its entirety. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm pointing toward the screen here, and we will just enjoy the view of Aix for everyone to share. The Birgit Nilsson Prize 2025 is awarded to the festival d'Aix-en-Provence, an annual summer festival for opera and for classical music in the south of France. Among the many outstanding productions, we'd like to highlight Kaija Saariaho's opera Innocence.
I wanted to congratulate the festival for this magnificent Birgit Nilsson Prize. Well deserved. Congratulations.
Birgit Nilsson's desire to reward not only excellence, but also for moving the art form forward could hardly find a more worthy recipient than this festival.
From the bottom of my heart, I would like to congratulate Festival d'Aix-en-Provence.
Welcome to join us on the live stream on October 21st from Konserthuset, Stockholm. We heard Monsieur Amelin mention it, but Monsieur Picard, you were digging in the archives. Tell us a little bit about what you found.
It was a recent discovery. As you know, Birgit Nilsson was definitely one of the most beautiful and powerful voices ever to grace the opera stage, and everyone already knows of her legendary performance as Isolde, together with John Vickers as Tristan, in the neighborhood of Aix for our dear partners, les Corrigis d'Orange, in 1973. Although she never performed in a stage opera at the Festival d'Aix, the following year, in 1974, she took part in a very prestigious Wagner ending concert on July 31st at the Château du Tolonnais. Here are the words Bernard Gavotti, one of the most famous critics of that time, used to describe Birgit Nilsson's voice in the concert program. Her timbre has the brilliance of a gemstone, thanks to the harmonics that give it a diamond-like quality. Her high notes strike with the irresistible force of a cannonball. But let us stop here with the play of metaphors, which, though hyperbolic, still fail to capture the essence of the greatest voice in the world.
Fantastic. Thank you. And from the Birgit Nilsson Stiftelsen, we are also delighted this year to work in synergy with the Festival d'Aix-en-Provence. The festival has also an outstanding academy fostering young talent. And we look forward to welcoming to Sweden 2 young singers who recently made their Aix debut. The French mezzo-soprano Marine Chagnon and American baritone John Brancy. They will perform at this year's Birgit Nilsson Festival in Båstad on August 9, directly following the recital of Carolina Bengtsson, this year's Birgit Nilsson Stipendium artist, who then just returns home to Sweden after her Aix debut. This all comes together very nicely. After her debut in this just mentioned new production of Charpentier's opera Louise. Before inviting Carolina and Magnus back on stage, I then also like to once again announce this year's celebration that concludes on October 21st with the Birgit Nilsson Prize ceremony at Konserthuset, Stockholm. The musical celebration will be accompanied by the Royal Stockholm Philharmonic Orchestra, the Royal Swedish Opera Chorus under the direction of Susanna Melki, and Swedish soloist Peter Mattei, the last year's stipendium recipient Matilda Sterby, and tenor Daniel Johansson. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, May 22nd, and we also then invite everyone around the world to join us on Konserthuset live. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us wherever you are. And now please enjoy Fior di Ligi's aria Come Scoglio from Mozart's Così fan tutte, performed by Carolina Bengtsson and Magnus Svensson. Thank you.
And can I just add, come to Aix-en-Provence, there are a few tickets still available. And next year edition will still be what Pierre Audi had designed and prepared. So we'll be very faithful to Pierre. Come to Aix.
Thank you.
Thank you.